at Unisport. It's gonna be good today. I've basically just, this is a very much a little bit of a thing. We figured we wanted to do that. We've had so many questions on the new Future 8 and the Predator Elite FT that I figured why not just sit down and talk about them. And you know, it's much easier to just speak to you guys live while we're at it. So so I figured, you know, let's give it a go. If any of you want to come on and say hi, ask about the boots, well, we are here, and I'm here for the next like 30 minutes. So let's just talk about them. Really, I have my trusty laptop here next to me. Lots of questions coming in, which is great to see. And yeah, that's basically what we're gonna do. It's unscripted, so I'm just gonna basically go off my experience with the two boots, having reviewed them, and keep the questions coming. That is why I am here. So basically, we just had the release in the beginning of the week of the Predator Elite FT, so the 2025 version of the Predator, which is it's really cool. It's a little bit of an upgrade from the previous version, and of course, then we also have the Puma Future 8 Ultimate, which is the teaser model here. Both are technically teaser models. There will be like the full range in January of both boots. But we have that right here, and it is it's pretty interesting because a lot has happened on the Future 8 as well. So so let's just get a quick one going here. I'd really like to hear which, just looking at them, which of the two boots you would probably go out and buy right now. Like, if you could do it right now, which of the two would you buy? For me, it's probably going to be, I might as well be honest, it's probably going to be the Predator. But, you know, the Future is a really solid football boot. So what I should probably do is I should get the two previous models and talk about those for you. So I'm just going to do that because I'm so well prepared here. It is amazing. And let me just get the Predator right here. Cool. Wicked, Jay. What I also figured we could talk about, now that we're here, is to remind you guys that on Monday, this will be dropping. And I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. But, you know, it's we're going to talk about that. It's on Monday. You can buy from Monday, and it's going to be I think it's going to be really popular. But let's start talking about the new Predator here, which obviously it looks quite a lot like the previous, or the, I don't want to say the current Predator, but the Predator that we've known in 2024. So this had a hybrid touch upper. It had the fold over tongue, obviously. Triangular studs on the outsole, and of course the 44 strike skin elements here that you can probably best see if I do this. So there are these 44 Predator Mania inspired fins, you know, same kind of pattern, same layout as on the Predator Mania. This has been changed on the new one, which is more inspired by the poles from 2004. In the sense that, okay, you have the accelerator stripe here running along the wave, but the overall look, I think, reminds me more of the pole. So instead of 44 elements, you now have 25 of the little, like, these little scale-like fins. I don't know if you can see them on the camera here. So basically, there are less fins, but they are also a little bit taller on the new Predator, meaning that you still get a lot of grip on the ball. I don't think personally it's as crazy as what you got on the previous version here, but it's up there among, I think it is the grippiest boot on the ball, at least when you put your foot through the ball and you strike it. So so that's a really interesting thing. The tongue has also been changed a little bit. There's a little bit more padding, and the upper itself is actually thinner and it is softer than it was on the previous version, where it was already, I mean, it was nice and soft on the previous version, but it's just, on this one, it's just a little bit, I don't know if you can see it, it's just a little bit, you know, easier to manipulate, a little bit softer, but also thinner. With that said, the heel is the same, the outsole is the same. And for me, this just fits a little bit more snug, just a little bit, than the previous one. But a great upgrade. I think it's more of the same, really, if I'm honest. But it feels like they've just improved it by 10%. So keeping that really good formula that they had with the previous Predator Elite FT, and then they just upgraded it a little bit where they could. So that is very nice. Future. We also had a new Future, the Future 8 here, which is an upgrade, quite a significant one from the Future 7 Ultimate, which I have here. It's a beautiful design, by the way. I love this big cat on the side, this big Puma. But I will say that from a performance fit point of view, this is a big improvement. So instead of just having this this mesh upper, dual mesh upper as they called it, we basically have a new construction where, and it's difficult to show the camera here, but I'll see if I can try and show you. Like maybe here you can almost see, like, on the inside you have these little, like, dots. Let's call them dots, right? Can you see? Great. So basically you have two layers. On the inside you have this lycra layer, which is this really soft textile, and then on the outside you have this basically it's a mesh layer with a silicone coating on top, meaning that it feels kind of synthetic-y. But the idea is that the inner layer, so the lycra layer on the inside here, it basically just really wraps around your foot. It's like a cloth. It just sits there really nicely and tightly and, you know, smoothly around your foot. And then on top you have these little 3D pods that basically go in and like they just almost envelop your foot, but they are on top of the lycra layer itself. It's really tough to show the camera. I'm gonna do my best here to see if you can kind of like see inside. You can see the little pods here, and then on top you kind of have the outer layer to protect the boot, to make sure that it's weatherized, but that you also get a little bit of like texturing, and it's a little bit tacky too. It's a really nice construction. It means that inside of this outer shell, so when you just are in touch with the lycra, you get this very, very personal feeling fit, which is really good. But with that said, this outer layer, it doesn't stretch as much, at least not in my opinion, the time I've spent with the boot. Meaning that if you do need it to stretch, you have a really wide foot or it just doesn't match the shape of your boot, you can almost hear it. It's a little bit crinkly, like plasticky. And for me, it doesn't stretch as much. So even though, you know, it's really nice underneath, you are restricted by like the tightness, so to speak, or the structure of this outer layer. But really nice. Power tape, there is a little less of it compared to the previous version, as you can see here, meaning that the hold on top of the foot is a little less tight. It doesn't really interfere with the tendon as much as it did on the previous version, but it's still there, you know, acting as a seat belt and keeping that part of the foot a little bit more, you know, secure, which I'll be honest, I could have done without it, because basically you have three lace crossings here, three sets of, like, I don't know how you say that in English, to be honest, but you get what I mean, like three sets of where the laces cross each other. And I could have done with a few more rows of lacing instead of having the power tape there, because it does add a little bit of pressure on top of the foot. And if you're like me, you have a bit of a high arc on top of the instep, you just, you know, it's just a little bit, you know, you feel the pressure at times. I should also mention the heel, which is significantly improved from the last version. It's a lot more sculpted, it's a lot more tight fitting. And although it's not perfect yet, it's definitely a lot better. And it fits a lot more securely, locks the foot a lot better. You know, you can see it's much tighter to the foot up top. And yeah, outsole as well has been changed. It's still made with these big bladed studs that really dig into the ground. You now have this pivot zone under the forefoot, which is really nice because you have the different angles here when you change direction. But other than that, you know, it's it feels similar. It is a stiff outsole, you can see, but you know, lots of traction and really nice when you play on a good firm ground pitch. But this on AG, don't go there. So we had a question from Chesco Santa Clara. Good morning. Is Adidas making an AG version of the Predator with the tongue? No, they're not. Which is the sad thing. Let me just grab the AG version of the, where is it? I can't get it though. Yeah, it's here. So they do make it, but they just don't make it with the tongue. So this is the AG version. It's basically the same AG plate that is on the F50. So whatever they call it, traction, AG traction frame. Cool guys. I feel it more like resembles a more balanced or, you know, a softer FG outsole because the studs are kind of long and there are still not that many of them. So you do, I mean, they are conical, which is good. That's what you want on an AG pitch. You do have this pivot zone here, but they are, you know, they're not bladed, but they are oblong, meaning that, you know, it's probably best for, you know, 4G pitches and good 8G pitches. It's just a shame that Adidas haven't done it on the tongue version. So yeah, we get lots of questions on grip on the ball, on the Future and the Pred here. What I will say is that when you're on a dry pitch, the Future here has a lot of, like, it's almost tacky in this matte way. It's a little bit like, it's not sticky, but if you can imagine, it's just like a little you know, rubber. Think of like dry rubber. That's what I think of when I touch this. Obviously, you have the ribs. So there is a lot of like tactility on the ball when you play. Go on AG, a dry AG pitch, and it's going to be sticky. With the sticky ball, I mean, I almost tripped a few times because I got unexpectedly much grip. So you know, rips are nice. Remind me a little bit of like the Vapor 8. Sorry, Vapor 8, what am I saying? Vapor 11, of course. From 2016. They're more like Vapor 16 than Superfly 5, I would say, because it feels a little bit more synthetic-y with this plastic outsole. My English is gone. It's the end of the week, guys. Bear with me. This plastic outer casing here that we have as part of like the Fusion Fit package. I will say though that as a whole on the Predator, obviously you don't have much grip out here because that's just the Hyper Touch Upper with this slightly, you know, it's a little bit like of a leathery release paper that's on, so the finish of the material. It has the same like scale look as the Predator 30 did, that limited edition, which is really cool. But other than that, it's just a little bit, you know, it's not grippy. I wouldn't call it that. But of course, when you strike the ball with the fins and you manage to like drag your foot around the ball, create that friction on the ball, it is super, super grippy. And I would say as a whole, you know, overall, this is grippier than the Predator as like a whole, but when you connect with the fins on the Pred, that is easier, the grippier one. Anmar Alpha, sorry. Do you have the Ronaldo boots? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I also have the Ronaldo shirt. Of course, I mean, guys, we don't play. We don't play. Because I also have the boots. Let's just talk about these. I mean, we might as well just, because these have not, well, they've launched in the sense that you and I can talk about them, but you haven't been able to buy them yet. I would have loved to like rock the Ronaldo haircut, but I don't have enough hair on that part of my head, so, you know, that sucked. but you know, just imagine that, okay? But basically the Vapor 1 Regen here, it's a funny boot, right? Because as like this tribute to the OG Vapor 1, it's really nice. You have the little chrome hang tag here where you can see it's numbered, that usually sits in like this little hanger, and the boot is really nice. You know, you have this Fly Touch, as it's called. Remember the name, Jay? This Fly Touch upper that we also see on the Tiempo. It's a slightly different variation of what we see on the Tiempo, but it's really soft and, you know, very reminiscent of what we got in the OG Vapor 1 back in the day. So really cool. Works really well, super streamlined in the front, very nice fit, and it's good. You get the little fold over tongue, you get that shininess, which is okay, I guess, but it's not quite up to standards with the shininess of the OG Chrome line. A little bit more like, you know, in between the original Vapor and the Talaria, which was the takedown model. But it's okay. My problem is this, the heel, which is just like, oh, it's very wide. If you look at the overall width of the boot, it's like this wide up here, and then it actually becomes a lot slimmer down in the forefoot. So even if you have a wide foot, you're thinking this is great, well, that is going to be a problem. If you have a slim foot and this is great, well, this is going to be a problem. So I just don't get why Nike just didn't, you know, pinch like that. Pinch it right there and make it much more like the original shape. It'll still be comfortable because it's a really nice heel package. It's soft and it will adapt. So just pinch it right there so the boot looks a lot better. I don't get that. Obviously, on the Vapor 16 outsole with the zoom bag inside, they could have used the Vapor 16 Pro if it was up to me. But hey, it is what it. Yeah, it is. It is what it is. Yeah. Someone said it's almost as big as my. I mean, yeah, that is actually true. It's a little bit shocking, really. So yeah, you can buy this obviously on Monday, December 9th on unisportstore.com. There are only 4,500 pairs in the world. And it sounds like a lot, right? 4,500, I can easily get a pair. But just remember that everyone wants this boot. So go on to unisportstore.com, sign up to Unisport FC, which you'll need to do to actually buy it. And yeah, hope for the best, really, because everyone's gonna want it. I mean, yes, they might have screwed up the heel and it would have looked better like this, but it's still gonna be really, really, really popular. Forgot to mention the box is really cool too, because that's what the box looked like back in the day. Some questions, eh? Should we do some questions? Okay. The gold version is so much better. The funny thing was that there was never a gold version of the Vapor 1. They made a gold Vapor 2, but they never made a Vapor 1. Goat asks, which position will this suit? Oh my god. Okay, so I address this in all my lives. There is no boot that is suited for any given position. You can wear whatever you want. You can be a goalkeeper and wear this. It doesn't really matter. You can be a right back and you can wear this. It doesn't really matter. What matters is what you are looking for in a football boot. So your choice of boot should not be decided by which position you play. It might be that most strikers would be looking for something that is light, something that has aggressive traction, so they feel responsive when they push off in the ground. Or they might be, midfielders might be looking for something that gives them a little bit of like grip on the ball and all that stuff when they strike. But it doesn't matter. You could rock up as a striker in a Copa Mundial and you could still be balling if you are good enough. It all depends on what you're looking for. Okay? Right, can I show the Adidas F50? Yes, of course I can show the Adidas F50. Which one do you want to see? Let's just pick out the latest one. Yeah, cool. Let's also pick out the Plus, because the Plus is, and the Messies. Let's take the Messies. Yes, where are the Messies? They are here. Nice. Cool. Just for fun, because someone asked. Messi's lovely boot, one of the best boots of the year. F50 Plus, really cool concept. Stupid that they made it laceless. I mean, it kind of ruined the whole thing. And then the regular F50 Elite, which is just a solid football boot. And I have a hard time really being mad about it. It's really good. Someone asked when the Boot Nurse podcast is coming back. One day. I mean, it's the end of the year. I haven't spoken to Josh about it, actually. It might be that we do a 2024 roundup. Lots of stuff to talk about. New Preds, new Future, new something that comes next week, which is also cool. Of course, the new Vapor, which we also haven't discussed, and we're really both very mad about with the heel. So let's let us see. Oh yeah, there's something that Mike, please tell these. Just call me Jay, by the way. Jay Mike is. I'm with Jay. We're friends here, right? Please tell these people that they don't need protection in a football boot. They all believe blatantly that Arab guy keeps going on about boots not having protection. Okay, so here's the deal. I know exactly who you're talking about. This coach from the Middle East. Cool. I mean, he's entitled to his opinion. I think I disagree with 95% of what he says, but it, if you're looking for protection in a football boot, you probably should not play football. It might be that some football boots are a little bit thicker. You can get a leather boot with a slightly thicker upper. But if you get stepped on, you get stepped on. It's not like you can go out in a pair of Vapors that are really thin and be hurt more if you get stepped on than you do in, let's say, a pair of Copa Mundials or a pair of Mizuno Morelia 2s. That's not, protection is not a thing. If you get hit, it is going to hurt no matter what. So that's not what you're looking for. Instead, get a football boot that fits your foot. Okay, this is really important. Get a football boot that fits your foot, the foot shape that feels comfortable, and that's a great way to start. Okay, so just wanted to bring that up. Oh, seems like my light has gone out. Hello. Oh, this is what happened when you do live. Let me just put this in. It's gonna look okay. It's gonna look crooked, but anyway, this is what it is. Beautiful lights, love it. Um, a lot of people have been saying that the Future 8 looks like the Nike Magista. Let's grab the Magista here for a second, because you might be right. I haven't really thought about it yet. I feel like it kind of looks like a combination of the Magista and the Superfly 5. Let me just bring down the Superfly 5 then. Of course, with the ribs here. You know, it has this ribbed texture. The Brio cables, as they were called back then, add a little bit of stability to the upper as well. So I don't you know, maybe maybe I see where you're coming from, and definitely obviously the ribs are very Superfly 5 Vapor 11 like. They feel more Vapor 11 than Superfly 5, I would say. Fabrizio da Milano asks, when is the next collab from Unisport and who's it with? Oh, well, let me tell you, next year. Because next year, we are going to have a lot of very cool collabs. Next year is a special year for Unisport because it is our 30th anniversary. So Unisport was founded in 1995. Next year is 30 years since it was founded, and that means that we are going into celebration mode, hard celebration mode, and we are going to do a lot of cool stuff. And I'm not going to give too much away, but I'll just say that we have some of the coolest collabs that we have ever done coming out in 2025. And there's one in particular that I am, you know, my mind exploded with excitement when I saw it. It's perfect. So yeah, 2025. Sakito Unisport, that's a good idea. We need to look into that. That will be, I mean, it has to happen, right? Such a good book. We need a Unisport version of that. What about a J-Mike version? I'll need to mention that to them as well. Paul Anderson, J-Mike, do you know if there's any plans for USA Unisport store? I'll be honest, no. But I can imagine, given that we are Europe-based, that I would be surprised if we open a US store tomorrow. But you never know. You never know. It's a big market, but it's also a market where there are a lot of other players. So, you know, I honestly, I can't tell you. For anyone asking for a giveaway, I'm sorry, guys. This is not. I know we did a lot of giveaways on the Black Friday and stuff, but today is talking about, you know, the new boots, the Future, and the Preds. Ooh, I lost half the views now. I'm joking. But talking about the new Preds and of course the Vapor ones here, which is why I suited up in this beautiful Ronaldo shirt. Asking a lot of people are asking, if you can get new boots. That's not what I'm here for today, but there will still be lots of giveaways at random points, right? You can go to our Instagram account and win a signed pair of Jeremy Doku Vapor 16s. But also, you know, it's oh, I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, people are asking if when there's new stuff coming out. So I would love to tell you. I would love to tell you that, ooh, at this date, there's this and this coming from Nike or Adidas or Puma or Mizuno or whatever. But the problem is that, you know, we're friends with these brands. You know, we're partners. We work together, right? And if they want to keep it a secret and a surprise, and I go out and ruin everything, then we're not going to be friends and partners. We might still be partners, but we're not going to be friends for very long, right? So we want to, you know, we want to keep it cool. So I'm going to keep it a surprise for you guys, right? Right. Okay. Still lots of questions coming in about a position. Boots by position. Let me reiterate here for you guys that your position does not decide which boot you should wear. Okay? What matters is what you're looking for. It might be that you are looking for a lightweight boot if you are a winger or a striker or whatever, but it also might be that you are a center back and you want something that is light and close to your foot and soft and makes you feel nimble. Cool. F50 or, you know, Vapors or Mizuno Neos. It's up to what you want. It might also be that the speed boots as a center back fit your narrow foot a little bit better. Then there's no saying you shouldn't. So yeah, I'm being asked if I've given my life to Christ. No, sorry. I identify as Christian, but no. I'm pretty relaxed with all that stuff. Jay, do you think Puma needs to come out with better designs for the futures? They look almost the same every year, in my opinion, asks Vortex. I do. I'll give you this. I do agree with you that the previous futures have had sort of like the same design language, you know, big future writing, you know, a cat on the outside and then, you know, a little cat on. I do think that this one is slightly different. And with what's coming, I do like what's going on there. So I think it's getting better. Let me put it that way in terms of like making the future a little bit more distinct. I'm still missing the days of like the net fit back on the 18.1, but that's just up to me. It's still my favorite future. This I think is second. I think this is the best future after the 18.1. Poet, how well do you think a fusion skin version of this current Predator would stack up against the perfect Rotero? Well, it depends. Depends on how they do it, right? For me, the Rotero was just a little bit too wide. It was just, and that's because, you know, if you watched Unisport, you know that I have a slightly narrow foot. So the fit of the old Pred, but also especially the new Pred, for my foot is absolutely flipping perfect. And the Rotero, you have it over there, yeah, I can go get it. Why not? It's live, I can go get it. You don't care if I leave the screen for a little bit. Here is the Rotero. The Rotero was very, very, very good. You know, very good. Fusion skin, everything you want. Fold over tongue, beautiful. I would have wanted a different colorway. I'm not vibing with the split design, but it is what it is. But for me, it just was a little bit wider and it fitted a little bit more loosely, which for me meant that I didn't get the same snugness, the same, you know, perfect fit as I got in the other one. You could hope that with the execution of this one, that it would be a little bit more snug, a little bit more like on performance oriented, other than just being super, super cozy, which the Rotero was. But I don't think it would, because it's made on the same last as the previous Pred, and if they built up, you know, a fusion skin upper over that, I don't think it's going to really matter. So no. But it's a good question, but I think if they do decide to make a fusion skin version of this Predator, and I'd be surprised if they don't, because they've been really popular and really good, to be fair, I think it's going to be more of the same. Might be a little bit more pliable because, you know, yeah, maybe a little bit more pliable because of the fins. There are fewer fins, and they leave the upper a little bit more flexible, to be fair. AG boots here, I get to answer this question every single time. I have made a video on the top 5 best boots for AG pitches on the Unisport YouTube channel here. So if you want like a more in-depth thing, go and check that out. But just to answer you, I think that the Puma MG plates are the best. They are the best, closely followed by the Mizuno boots. Let me just get them, right? Mizuno, where are you? Oh, I have that at home. That is stupid. No, wait, I have it here. Cool. Not a problem. And MG. Cool. Wicked. Don't mind, the colorways are not the newest ones. But yeah, Mizuno, fantastic AG outsole. You know, lots of little studs, fantastic grip in the forefoot here where you push off. They're not, you know, they're a little less risky than wearing other boots. And then this one, which is like the go-to standard for me. Puma MG outsole, absolutely ridiculously good. Perfect height of the studs, perfect placement of the studs when you push down. Feels really safe. There's less risk of getting like stuck in the ground when you plant your foot and pivot. And for me, those two are the best. The Nike AG outsoles in general also very good on the. I love the one on the Phantom GX personally, but yeah. Predator, I think this is probably a little bit, unless you play on a really good artificial grass pitch, AG pitch, it's probably a little bit too FG-like for my taste. You know, is it better for like performance and feeling like an FG boot? Absolutely. But for me, when playing on AG, when recommending AG boots, my primary concern is safety. Because AG, we see a lot of like career-ending injuries. Well, my English is done today, guys. We see a lot of career-ending injuries on AG. You know, knees popping, ACLs, MCLs, meniscus just going, right? So it's, yeah. Darby Yank, my man. The Copa Icon 2 released in Japan today with a new HG plate looks much better. I've not seen that. But you know, here's the thing, right? There's a lot of stuff happening over in Japan. Lots of cool stuff happening over in Japan. And if you are excited about boots and what's going on in Japan, this guy, Andrew Lockhart, Darby Yank, whatever you want to call him, he's the man to go to. So you know, It's nerdy, but it's good. So just thanks for thanks for the input, as always. John Adrian Coker, seeing as you've been collecting boots for some time, J Mike, any boot collecting advice for storing them at home? Yes. Am I following this advice? No, because I have way too many football boots to actually, like store them properly. But I think you need to have a good room. Obviously, temperature shouldn't be too hot nor too cold. And you should have a humidity at around 55%. I think that's what they told me in the Adidas archive where I went a month ago, which is obviously where they store all of their archive products, and they are very good at doing that. So 55% humidity, store them in boxes. If you can, you get these little, like when you get the boots, you get these little bags of like moisture. Are they moisture wicking, whatever they are, but they basically ensure that to draw in the moisture and keep the boots dry in the box. Keep some of those around, don't throw them away. Keep them around if you have like really special boots you want to preserve, and keep them ordered. I mean, I have 13 14 plus 100 of pairs of football boots, so I cannot do that. But if you have them like neatly stored in boxes like I do with these ones up here, make sure they're dry, make sure they're in a good temperature, away from direct sunlight. UV, not good for boots. Make sure the room humidity is good. Right. Do you know a football boot company called Sega? Is that not a gaming? So no, I don't. Is it like an Indian thing maybe? Indian thing apparently. Hey Jay, I have the Puma Ultra 1.3. Should I upgrade to the Ultra 5, or should I buy another pair of the 1.3s again? It depends. So here's the thing. I appreciate that you guys asked me for my opinion. I've worn basically every boot on the market for the last 15 years, and 95%, because there's stuff in South America and Japan I haven't worn, but most of them I've worn those. I appreciate you asking. But if you love the 1.3s, get another pair of those. If you see that as like your ideal boot, get another pair of those. There's nothing wrong with that. I think that the Ultra 5s it's probably, apart from the first Ultra, this is the best Ultra they've made to date. It's the most comfortable. It's the sharpest on the ball with that new FG outsole. It's great, and it just feels like the most streamlined Ultra they have made since the 1.1s. So depends. I'm gonna go for the 5s, but that's just me. Anyways, let us just right. Actually, tell me where you got that sweater. I bought it off of of Football Retro Shirt reseller, Football Shirts 101. So shout out to him. You can't get it anywhere else. It's like ridiculously hard to find. But I just had to whip it out for this one. Remember that you can get this on Monday on unisportstore.com. If you sign up to Unisport FC, you'll need to do that. It's members only. And you also need to be ridiculously lucky. 9 a.m. CET. Yeah, be there or miss out. And you don't want to miss out, so be there. Also remember that if you want, now you can buy all the different price points of the Adidas Predator 20. It's not got a name called 25, but it is the new Predator for 25. Different, tongue, no tongue, laceless, all the jazz. AG, not on the tongue though. There's also the Puma Future. You can buy the teaser version here from today, which is also nice. If you haven't seen the reviews and you just want to know if they're any good, I have made reviews on all of these. So go check them out. If you do that, that's a little bit for the weekend. Some Christmas weekend watching. My English is failing me hard now, so I should probably just end it here. But thank you so much for coming in. I'll just answer this question from Baller Romeo. Which boot is better, the Future 7 or the Future 8? For me, I'll be really quick about it. For me, these are okay. These are better. They fit better. They fit more anatomically. They're more streamlined. The heel is way better, more locked in, and the heel, the heel fit is pivotal to how a boot English is pivotal to how a boot feels. The upper is way softer, fits better, feels nicer and more connected on the ball. The outsole is, maybe reckon it's a little bit better, but I would, if you have the means to go and get a Future 8, get a Future 8. Guys, with those words, someone's mentioning Sunil Chetri, Indian legend. Shout out Sunil. But yeah, look, it's been fun. It's been fun. I'm just thinking we might do this again. If you guys like this and you like talking about, you know, live about new boots and stuff, it's a thing we might as well do again. So if you want this, leave us a like and maybe leave us a comment, go in and rewatch it again, whatever. Give me some sort of indication that you want to do this again, and we just might do it because it's fun talking directly to you guys. Have a fantastic weekend and good luck finding the right boot for you in December, because there's this and there's this and there's more coming next week. You can buy this. There's even more stuff coming. So I pity the fool that has to choose a new football boot in December, because it's going to be good. So with those words, guys and girls, it has been really, really fun. Have a fantastic weekend. Bye for now. See you later. I'll be signing off. Cheerio.